Hello, Nivea here. I'm here to give you a rundown of the first 5 episodes of our Curse of Strahd campaign, so that you know what has happened before you jump into episode 6, which is also uploaded here on YouTube. First, a little bit of background as to why these episodes weren't actually recorded ahead of time. When I first started streaming Dungeons & Dragons, I didn't actually expect it to do so well. It started as a way for my husband and I to have an extra game going on because we love to play the game, and it was also a way for me to introduce the game to new people and also introduce to them the management of playing as a GM and all this other stuff. So I then put it out to my stream team, and it was a good way to have consistent players that way, to have my stream team, and my subs, of course, are also invited. So that's a little bit of background, and I didn't expect it to become so large, and I'm sure a lot of this is because Fluffy Snowfall is amazing, and she is so wonderful. I'm so grateful that she was willing to run us a campaign for us, while I took a quick break after several campaigns in a short period of time. So, Curse of Strahd. We are 6 players. The characters are as follows. Well, Fluffy Snowfall is our GM, of course. She's amazing. Axel Sillison is played by Lennon Marks. Verity, our team mom, is played by the one and only Mr. Pounce. Pocket is played by Daisy. Raz is played by Mazegus. I play Saya. And Nanaha is played by Lumi-chan. Now, at the start of Curse of Strahd, there was a different 6th player. Nanaha was not with us at the time. This player is no longer affiliated with the stream. The character's name was Wanfai. He was with us through the Death House and one session after that. So we, in the first session, entered the Death House with the intention, we all showed up in the mist together. We didn't know who anybody was. Nobody had met each other except for Axel and Pocket. Those two actually do come in together. Axel is a devotion paladin, and Pocket is a phantom rogue. Saya is a genie pact warlock. Raz is... I can't remember which path. Barbarian and also fighter. I'm not sure which path he's going on fighter. That's a new thing with him. Nanaha's a monk. Wanfai was a bard. Verity is a sorcerer. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Oh, Mazegus. No, that's Raz, and he's the barbarian. So the 6 of us all meet in the fog, and we're like, well, this is odd, but we also realized that the fog was closing in on us, and it didn't seem safe to go in. So we went and we met Rose and Thorn, and they asked us to take care of the monster in their basement that had their parents. So we went into the Death House to help these children, and promptly found that it wasn't aptly named the Death House. We managed to largely move our way through the Death House pretty safely. There were some damages taken. Saya's leg was torn open by a Grick at one point. We made it to the basement. Pocket went down in that fight, but we managed to get him back up. And then kind of barely escaped the traps through some combination of Kool-Aid manning our way through the walls, and Saya would freeze blocks of ice to hold the traps in place so we could run by. One of the important information on that is Saya is a water genasi. So she has shape water, which allows her to freeze a 5-foot cube of water. Yeah. It was some shenanigans. So then we get outside. And we're into the town of Barovia proper. In the town of Barovia proper, Pocket meets a woman selling pastries. He buys these pastries and promptly goes on a drug-fueled shenanigans shrieking moment. Except Pocket is, a very light tabaxi, so we can just kind of pick him up and move him as we need to. Wanfai witnessed the woman buying a child, brings it up to the party. Saya and Verity both kind of fail their insight checks. And so they feel that, the woman's being entirely honest, and if the parents can't care for the child, and this woman's going to give the child a better life, then who are we to stop that? The rest of the party did not feel such. Apparently paladins have feelings about kidnapping children, and all that sort of thing. So we did not allow her to kidnap the child, and we kind of forced her to give it back. We then, at Ismark, we met Ismark in the tavern, while Pocket was yelling about needing some milk. Ismark asked us to talk to the priest about getting a burial for his father, whom had died and had not yet received his final rest. So we go and we talk to the priest, and about that time we realize he's keeping a vampire spawn in the basement. We decide not to do anything about it at that moment because we already had a goal. So we return to Ismark, this time at his manor. We meet Irina. Very lovely lady. Verity thinks that she's very cute. We spend the night in Ismark and Irina's home, and then 1-5 vanishes overnight. No idea what happened. Things happen. So then, the next morning, during the procession of taking Ismark and Irina's father to the burial, we find a coffin in the center of the town. And inside the coffin is Nanaha. She's very concerned about being in a coffin. We're very concerned about her having been in a coffin. It's a very odd situation. She joins us. She seems chill. It's cool. We get back to the church. We go through the burial. After the burial is about the moment that our paladin was like, hey, so about leaving a vampire spawn here, and the party is overall in general it doesn't seem like a great idea. Pocket is wholly against all of this. So we leave Pocket upstairs to restrain the priest, and we go downstairs to put his son to rest. His son gets out of the basement, bites Pocket. It's okay. We fix it. It's taken care of. We put the son to his final rest, and then we go back to Ismark and Irina's, and we don't talk about it. We leave the next morning for Valakai. Raz and I don't remember who the other one was who saw, but Raz happened to look back at the churchyard upon our leaving of the town and notices a human figure dangling from the bell tower. Unfortunate. He does not mention this to the party. So now we're traveling with Ismark and Irina. On our way, we come across a gallows. Axel sees himself on the body in the gallows. The rest of us just see a normal commoner. We don't think anything of it. And while we are putting this person to rest by burying them, Strahd does appear. And he taunts us. He does some mind stuff to Ismark, tries to do something to Nanaha, but she nat 20'd her save. And so she was fine. So he leaves, and we go and camp with the Vistani. We have a great time hanging out with the Vistani. They're wonderful, wonderful people. We danced all night. We got a Taraka reading. And I'll go over the Taraka reading again at the start of episode 8. I know it comes up a few times in episodes 6 and 7, but I don't have it in front of me to give you the full detail right now. Sorry. So, we bed down with the Vistani that night, and Raz, he receives a visitor overnight. Lord Strahd comes to him with a proposition of taking Irina to Valakai and giving her to the coffin maker, at which point Strahd would allow Raz to leave. Raz considers this, counters with let all 6 of us leave. Strahd says, we can discuss this later. The next morning, Raz brings this up. It doesn't really sit well with the rest of us. Like, Saya herself doesn't really care. She's more concerned about survival, really. Nanaha and Verity are both incredibly opposed to it. Axel is also very opposed to it. The decision comes down to, well, what if we ask her if she wants to be Strahd's bride? Now, we had a pretty good idea that that was not the case, but we asked her. It did not end well. Ismark drew his weapon on me, Saya was gonna blow him up, and then people got involved. Nanaha and Raz fought, and Irina and Ismark left us, told us they never wanted to see us again. And we're like, oh, well, yes, that's... Yeah. Nanaha and Raz then have a series of conversations with various other characters and come to the conclusion that apologies need to be made from both sides, because Nanaha did not consider things the way Raz did, where 1 life for 6 is a pretty good deal to a Shadarkai. And he didn't consider that Nanaha would have a particular feeling about slavery. So, that's okay. And that's actually kind of where we're at right now. We're heading into Valakai. Or, well, our plan is to head into Valakai in the morning. And so there we are. Thank you all so much for coming out today. All of the episodes will be recorded from now on, and they will be put up on Tuesdays after the original stream, which is Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope to see you all there, and I hope that you guys really enjoy it. Please go ahead and comment on the videos, let us know what you're having fun with, let me know who your favorite character is, any little epithets you want me to add to our character designs. All of that stuff will be great. Thank you all so much for coming out today. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!